Hello and welcome to Wake and Jake. Happy 69, June 9th. And we are going to try out a new format today, one that I feel like could stick. I've been telling you guys for a while, I've been looking for my around the horn conversational type concept episode. I've fallen into something. I guess maybe I'm going to have to give myself some learning curve on it, but it made me laugh that it's 30 teams in 30 minutes. Am I going to cut some teams off short? Probably. There's some topics. Roman Anthony just got called up, and me and Beebs were debating if that was something to feast on. First we feast, Chris Evans. And I was kind of like, I don't know. Like, I'm happy for the Red Sox, and I kind of want to talk about that a little bit, but it's also, I don't know. Let's see what the top prospect, which, by the way, not number one on a lot of boards, but everyone's talking about him as he's number one. I'm not going to pick a bone with that because they're just updating the prospects list, and I think he's there now. But everyone got pretty hyped over that 497-foot walk-off homer that Roman Anthony hit. And it sounds like our guy Wheelier's going on the IL. I hate that.
Yes.
What the heck?
Off the top of my head, I don't know what for, but I'm looking into it.
He's a dog. Bobby Stock designated for assignment. So, with that, I don't know. What do you need? NBA, Thunder bounced back and looked like the Thunder. We'll see if Indiana can give them a game 3. If not, it's Jover. If they do, we'll get into that. Playoff hockey's good, but I got nothing for you. I watched overtime. Brad Marchand plays on the Panthers. Analytics. With that, let's do 30 teams in 30 minutes in 3, 2, 1. The New York Yankees will start on top of the AL East, the team maybe I'm the most familiar with. Yeah, definitely, dog. Yanks are good. No, the Yankees are good. Their offense is good. The problem right now is pitching. If it's not Rodon or Fried, they're kind of going back. Maybe Clark deserves love. Maybe we'll find out his next start. Will Warren has had a couple meh ones. Ryan Yarbrough with his first stinker. And the Yankees bullpen. You take away Luke Weaver, cool hand Luke, Devin Williams in the 9-hole. Your 8th inning is looking like Mark Leiter Jr., Fernando Cruz, Tim Hill. Hopefully Jonathan Loaizaga's name can mean a little more again. But the Yankees bullpen is thin. If they get one bad outing from a starter, it messes up their whole week. I don't think a lot of teams can say that. But the Yankees pitching, which hasn't been a question mark for a while, has some question marks to it at this point in the season. They've got lineup options. The Boston Red Sox, kid. Oh, my God. Roman Anthony. This kid's a fucking firecracker. They just won a big series over the Yankees. 2 out of 3. Not a lot of divisional baseball has been played yet. The other way I was going to go with this episode, if it wasn't 30 teams, 30 minutes. You guys know I like doing that bizarre standings check-in from last year to this year. Last year, looking at the standings, there was 3 teams, 2 in the American League, 1 in the National League, that were out of the postseason that made the postseason. In the American League, one of those teams was the Detroit Tigers. The other was the Houston Astros, who were 30 and 36. Boston has not had the sauce. They have had a lot of injuries. If Roman Anthony's a guy, maybe they can get the momentum and turn the ship around. They need pitching. They're 25th in starting pitcher, ERA, and whip. Their starting pitching got hit this week, and their offense was just better. I'm not buying in Tampa, New York, and Seattle the next 10 days for them. We're going to find out a lot more about Boston. Tampa Bay Rays. Not sure why I jumped them. I guess the Red Sox were more exciting. The Rays are tied for second place with the Jays. Rays are still frustrating to me. We watched a couple defensive highlights of theirs, and it was like the secret sauce of the Rays was it felt like everyone played really good defense. They don't have that anymore. They are pitching. Did you know? Rays starting pitchers, 2nd in whip. Bullpen, 4th in ERA, 9th in whip. And the offense is sneaky in a solid area. They're 13th in runs, 14th in OPS. And they have a chunk of their lineup now that is righty-lefty tough to get through. You got the Low Lows, Diaz, Aranda, Caminero. Bottom of the lineup, still a little thin. But the Rays rotation, Rasmussen, Boz, Pepio, Littell, and Bradley, I think they can, I don't want to say go toe-to-toe with everyone, but 5 deep kind of. The Toronto Blue Jays. I like my Toronto Blue Jays. I don't know why. And by the way, these Toronto Blue Jays and the Tampa Bay Rays, if the playoffs started today, they'd both be in the dance. Did you know? The AL Beast is back. And so is Toronto. Funny, the strongest unit on their team last year was the worst unit on their team last year. Their bullpen has been good. Second in WHIP, fifth in ERA. They're getting efforts from three of their rotation. Barrios, Bassett, and Gossman are having kind of respectable seasons for what you'd look for from them. Bowden Francis is not, and right now they're another starter short. Let's see what goes on there. George Springer has been giving them a great year, and Addison Barger is one of the breakout players of the last couple weeks. A lefty bat that they've been looking for in the middle of that lineup. Rays or Jays? I think I'm leaning Rays now, and I've been a Jays guy. Orioles. I don't know if you're going to get the full minute out of me. I might save myself some buffer time. Even looking at those horrible records last year, again, Houston was 30-36. The Orioles are 26-38. That's a little bit of a gap. And a little bit, remember, Houston was getting like very unlucky and losing back-breaking games. The Orioles aren't doing that. They had a 6-game winner going. They just lost to the A's, who had been horrible. They kind of had to keep it going if I wanted to believe in anything. I'm not going to believe. Let's jump over to our AL Central. The top dogs in baseball, the Detroit Tigers, Detroit Kitties, baby. They're doing it everywhere. 5th in runs scored, 3rd in starting pitcher ERA, 6th in bullpen ERA. They have a lefty-righty lane in their lineup. Glaber, Carpenter, Riley Green, Torkelson. Yeah. They also play defense. Kerry Carpenter, not known for his defense. He made a nice game-saving play over the weekend. Riley Green is chasing a gold glove. Go watch the Dylan Dingler throw out, catcher to second base, on a fucking rope. When a catcher throws a ball and it looks that pretty, it's a real treat. Baez is slowed down. Their other secrets, Skubal and Flaherty. They both shoved this weekend. Jack Flaherty has a quality start streak going. And Tarek Skubal, the stat floating around, Phil Hughes. Yes, that Phil Hughes. He has the record for strikeout to walk ratio at like 11-1. Skubal right now sitting at a 15. He has been dominant. He doesn't care. He's coming at you. Almost got separated from my clock. I still got a bonus 10 seconds. Tigers 43-24. They are for real. Below them, I'm not sure. Your Minnesota Twins just got hit with the injury bug a little bit. Pablo Lopez, he gets hurt. He goes to the aisle. Zebby Matthews, one of their rotational depth pieces, or someone they were hoping would break out. So their rotation is getting tested right now. Joe Ryan, David Festa, Bailey Ober, who said he's having some mechanical issues, and Chris Paddock. Their bullpen is good. It has been used a lot lately. And hey, I'm just happy Byron Buxton is healthy, playing good ball. Trevor Larnach, Twins player generator, lefty corner outfielder that I feel like we've seen Kirilloff, Kepler, a couple others come through. Trevor Larnach is finally happening. They haven't gotten a lot from everywhere else. Royce Lewis had a good weekend for the first time in a while. He's supposed to be a dude for them. 1-1. 1-1 Royce Lewis. I think you guys sneaky know I'm not in on the Twins. Let's see what happens next. The Guardians. Love me some Cleveland Guardians baseball. They're in their first funk of the year. Sitting at 3rd place. The Cleveland Guard Dogs. Jose Ramirez, I don't need to tell you about that. I guess Cleveland is really testing their limits right now, where their bullpen has been solid. They strike guys out, middle of the pack ERA-wise. There's an argument they're a bottom 10 rotation and a bottom 10 offense, which, sure, there's the advanced part of that where, hey, the Guardians play good baseball, they play good defense, they make the plays, they put their guys in positions to succeed. They're testing themselves right now. Lane Thomas just came back for them. Can he be a weapon? Because they need anyone to join Steven Kwan and Jose Ramirez right now. In their rotation, Bybee, I like Bybee. Gavin Williams, everyone's waiting for it to fully click. I don't know. kind of out on my Central. And if I'm out on my Central, then what am I supposed to say about the Royals right now, who are currently in 4th place? The 4th place Kansas City Royals, who my Yankees are about to play, 34-32. They can still throw the hell out of the ball. It's been offense. 27th in runs. Think about how many bad teams there are in baseball. 27th in runs, 30th in homers. It's a bad spot to be in. And if you look, Salvi has been one of the most unlucky players in baseball this year. His expected slugging, number 1 gap. Number 2, Juan Slomo. So maybe there's something there. They just called up Jack Caglione, if we're talking about prospects. And he had a 4-hit game over the weekend. So if he can be something for them. Right now, your listed Kansas City starting outfield, Drew Waters, John Rave, and Kyle Isbell. John Rave? The Chicago White Sox might be able to save ourselves a little bit of time, but actually they've been playing a better brand of baseball. The White Sox aren't just a welcome mat. Is that how you call it? Mike Tauchman, Chase Mydroth, a real prospect for them, is playing. And again, we had some fun with this. If you want to Google some of his pictures, he had some tough MLB pictures taken. I don't want to be rude to the guy. He's become one of Trev's favorite players. He compares it to the Cody Bellinger kind of stoner look. He had a couple tough ones as a Red Sox farmhand that I don't want to lean into that too hard. But they have real prospects on the field. Kyle Teal is called up. Tim Elko is called up. Mydroth, that Caro, the catcher. I mean, yeah. There's the one, if you find the one where he's a Boston Red Sox prospect, it's kind of brutal. They've got young guys pitching. They've got young guys playing. It's not exciting in the South Side, but we're happy for them at least. Out West, yeah, I mean, that picture, this doesn't cut into anyone's time.
That's bullying.
That's brutal. That's brutal. If they took that picture at the warehouse, we'd tell them to delete it, and you can't use that. We love you, Chase Mydroth. The Houston Astros are in first place. Did you know that? With a 2.5 game lead, by the way, of the Mariners, who have gone downhill. Houston about to play the White Sox, Twins, and Athletics, so they can continue to go. They still have untapped potential, man. Their offense has been Peña and Paredes. Outside of that, like Altuve hasn't gone yet. Christian Walker hasn't gone yet. Yiner hasn't gone yet. Although he's got a couple clutch homers. You know I like me some clutch. What I will say is they are pitching. Framber, Hunter Brown, and Lance McCullers Jr., along with some other, looks like literally random player name generators, Colton Gordon, Brandon Walter, and Ryan Gusto. I mean, that feels like a video game. Josh Hader has been the best closer in baseball. They have untapped potential. They're in first place. Is anyone talking about Houston? Seattle. Oh, God. I jumped on the bandwagon. It was a late night. We did a late talk in baseball because of warehouse stuff, and I broke down. I said, you know what, Seattle? I'm in. And I've been leaning into the clutch gene. I believe in Cal Raleigh, who's on pace for 66 homers. Historic stuff from the catcher position from Cal Raleigh. Julio has been solid. Randy's gone backwards a little bit. I don't know. They're in their first funk of the season. As you zoom out and you look at their numbers, it's, okay, what is our strength here? It's the pitching, but the pitching stats aren't too impressive. That could change because George Kirby is back. He threw 14 strikeouts over the weekend. Andres Munoz had his first slip-up of the year after being perfect. Mariners, let's find out what you got because they're at 33-31. Bad week away from 500. The Texas Rangers, my all-frustration team. In a way, I want to bet and believe on the Texas Rangers. And it's literally all because of starting pitching. First in WHIP, second in ERA, first in hits allowed. Their starting pitching has been, you want to talk about a scary playoff rotation? DeGrom, who's back to form. Tyler Mahle has been nearly unhittable. And then you've got either a young Jack Leiter, will Evaldi make it back? They're getting great innings out of Patrick Corbin. So there's some voodoo going on in Texas. Or maybe we're just waiting for the article to come out that says people can't hit there because they're 30th in OPS. Dead last. 30. 3-0. That's insane. Marcus Semien has started hitting. Everyone else still continues to not. Oh, the sweet Angels. 30-34. I'm getting yelled at in Swilly for The Office because we made fun of Joe Adell's attempt to rob a home run. It was lackluster. Joe Adell hitting, though, he goes on these hot streaks, and you're like, okay, that's why this guy was filled with potential. He's still 26. Let's see. If this team was named something else, you'd really love their lineup. A lot of fun, young, talented players. Taylor Ward has been playing really good this year. Did you know Taylor Ward, third in the AL in home runs? Really? Cal Raleigh, Aaron Judge, Taylor Ward. How do you like that? A couple Fresno State boys. Judge's college teammate. The rotation is still a little bit of Angels baseball. 29th in whip, 30th in walks allowed. Bad formula. The bullpen, 28th in ERA, 28th in whip, so they cannot pitch. My God. Lamont Wade's over there now. Trade alert. Finishing up in the American League and the West, it's the Athletics. God, it was a fun start, wasn't it? And then they had one of the worst stretches of baseball you can play. They're back hitting. They just had a big weekend. And Jacob Wilson, we debated it with Foolish and Jolly. They both had him as a more fake out than breakout. And I told them, sometimes you can't trust the numbers. Because he wasn't walking, but he also wasn't striking out. And he's just raking. He's 23 years old. He's racking up WAR. He's becoming a star player. Him, Lawrence Butler, Brent Rooker, Soderstrom tap back in after a rough month. Top of their lineups back. Their year-long offensive stats are there. Their pitching has an argument for the worst in baseball as well. That's part of the problem. And maybe their home ballpark isn't helping out. In the National League, the New York Mets are 42-24. They are I keep mentioning this stat. They're number 1 in starting pitching ERA. They're number 2 in bullpen ERA. The way they throw the ball is unmatched. Currently unmatched in all of baseball. And that is with Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso's OPS, 990. It's June. Pete the Meat is going to earn that contract that I was kind of wrong on because he didn't get paid, but now he might get paid more than I thought because he is putting up a career year. Juan Slomo starting to go. April is his worst month every year. We're seeing him shuffle. They called up Ronnie Mauricio. Let's see what goes on in that bottom of that lineup because their offensive numbers aren't crazy impressive. They're starting to get really good. The Mets are one of the best teams in baseball. Full stop. I don't talk like that. The Philadelphia Phillies, talk about full stop. Go check out their offense. Did you know Philadelphia Phillies are 1-9 in the last 10 games? They just got swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Whoa.
That's pretty bad, huh?
I noticed the 4.5 back down. I felt like they were just tied, and I guess they were.
They were just up on the Mets. The Mets got hot. The Phillies got cold. 4.5 back. They have the Cubs coming up, who you're going to hear about in a second. Philly was, as you'd expect, somewhat carried by their offense. Their offense is down to 10th in runs, 10th in OPS. Bryce Harper just went on the IL. He's a big part of that. They have no one. Trey Turner is playing well right now. Everyone is on the struggle bus. They have to figure that out. And you expect they will, but when things get ugly, you're always waiting for something to make the turn. I don't know what's going to happen because they've got a horrible case of the can't hits right now. Third place in the NL East, it's your Washington Nationals. C'est quoi? James Wood's happening. I think if you follow baseball, you know that. He's one of the best players in baseball. They just had a bad offensive weekend. And Mackenzie Gore, go check out the Jolly Olive video ad. Subscribe. But it's turning into one of the best returns for a star player ever. Andres Chaparro on the bench. That one's more so for BBD, former Yankee farmhand. I think this season is going to be delicious for the Nats. I think maybe they chase 500, maybe they don't. They're going to sell at the deadline. They currently don't really have a team strength. You'd like to see a little more from their offense, but again, that's kind of the problem with a lot of youth. They should be a fun deadline team. And maybe they deserve more love because they are still ahead of the Atlanta Braves, 27-37. What? The two teams I fell in love with right before the start of the season, the Atlanta Braves and Baltimore Orioles. The Storielli curse. Remember when I did that to the Cardinals a couple years ago? Atlanta's in a dark place. I'm seeing people online dig into stats, dig into the numbers of how bad teams were at certain parts of the season. People think they're going to test that. I don't know. I'm ready to quit. Chris Sale has returned to last year's Cy Young form. He's been really good. Spencer Schwellenbach has been too. Bryce Elder just gave his best outing of the season, but they lost the game. And they're finding creative ways to lose games. It's always scary to me when I open up a team's depth chart on Fangraphs and I see 5 closers listed. Because I'm going to be honest with you. That was a lie, would say Maury. They don't have a team identity. It's supposed to be offense. Peter Moylan, the year they killed it, was that 2023? He had their offense as the backdrop on his phone screen. Kind of crazy, right?
Got kids.
They're 21st in runs. 21st in runs. The Atlanta Braves. They're at Milwaukee. Maybe Colorado will fix them, but they got to fix themselves soon. And they're messing around with Juju. They called up Craig Kimbrell for a day. MLB did like a whole thing like, hey, Kimbrell, he's back on Atlanta. One day, DFA. That's bad juju. Oh, you didn't have other guys in your bullpen? Anyways, Marlins. I got to be honest. The sex appeal of the Marlins comes back today. Yuri Perez activated from the IL. But I don't know. They're playing Pittsburgh this week. Honestly, don't watch. They are bad at pitching and bad at hitting. Top prospect's name is Noble Meyer. That's fun. They're in high A. So, yeah, I don't really know, man. It just ends up making me sad whenever I really think about it. Miami should be a baseball hub, and we've just accepted it as like a joke of a franchise. Sorry to all our Marlins listeners. Dane Myers had a bad throw home this weekend. There you go. In the Central, one of the teams of the season, the Chicago Cubs. Cubs and Mets. How do you like that? Invest in your team. The Cubs offense is a wagon. They are second in runs scored, third in OPS, second in batting average, third in stolen bases, fifth in homers. Pete Crow Armstrong, every stat that pops up for him is like, oh, the fastest to have, 20 homers and 15 stolen bases and blah, blah, blah. Their whole outfield has been great. It's oddly all Jolly's been talking about. Even Matt Shaw at third base has kicked into gear for them I think the story for them is how much do they boost their pitching. And their pitching has been good. So, Cubs fans get mad when I say that. But, when you're looking what to do with this team around the trade deadline, I'd like to see a couple more names in the bullpen I believe in. And when I say believe in, I don't want to go to years past, like Drew Pomeranz, Ryan Brazier, and Ryan Presley. Hey, I won't bet against Presley come October if he starts looking a little better. Do learn the name Daniel Palencia. He's on the All-Storielli team. Thick body, throws hard. That's all it need, I guess. Is that a reflection on me? Jameson Taillon playing well. We like him. Friend, go check out the opening day vlog. Had a nice interaction with him. Forgot he was on the Cubs. Rude. Your second place in the NL Central, it's still the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals are still slapping the ball around the yard. They have a top 10 offense. Enough pitching / strong outings. Sonny Gray, Fetty will give you one. Liberatore. They're going to need more out of that rotation. They're going to need more out of that bullpen. I'm waiting for the wheels to fall off, and maybe that's rude. Maybe I'll be here in a couple weeks slapping the table and saying, aha. But I don't know. And maybe the other part of that is the Milwaukee Brewers are coming. The Brewers are a game and a half back of the Cardinals. I think they've got like a 14-6 in their last 20 or something like that. Milwaukee was waiting for their hot streak to kick in. And I'll tell you what, if you do use the Fancrafts roster resource, they use a power ranking stat, which I should look into it more because I do respect it. I think it's just probably something with overall WAR over 14 days, or I don't really know. But they have a lot of, as I've clicked through all these teams, their top 6 in their lineup are all like top 100 players listed, which every team has a couple holes or flaws. And again, it's very, there's some guys with brewery feels, Sal Frelick, Bryce Terang. There's other guys that don't. Yelich and William Contreras, we know who they are at this point. Sneaky 11th in runs scored and 5th in starting pitcher ERA. I don't know if you'd expect that from This Is My Crew. This year, the guy they've tapped into, if you haven't heard yet, fake name, Chad Patrick. Chad Patrick has been lights out. They got him in a trade with Oakland. We do a lot of scouting. We do team profile and projections. Didn't have Chad Patrick before the season. I've seen Quinn Priester. He was like a first-round pick, and I'd seen him on prospect lists. Chad Patrick is twirling the pill for them. Abner Uribe, always liked him in their bullpen. He's kind of breaking out this year. Atlanta and St. Louis. Let's see where the Brewers are at in a week, but I'm in on my Brewers, and maybe it's just because I placed a preseason bet on them.
Chad Patrick traded for Jace Peterson in 2023, then traded for Abraham Toro in later in 2023.
It's crazy.
That's the same trade.
Been
twice.
like an ace this year. The Cincinnati Reds, the bane of my existence. Bane of my existence. If you look at their team rankings, and I told you that this team was one of the best teams in baseball, you might believe it. 8th in runs scored, top 10 in starting pitching. The bullpen has good numbers and bad numbers, which is a little Cincinnati Reds. They just got Christian Encarnacion Strand off the IL, and he won them like every game this weekend. So that's a nice thing to hang your hat on if you need to. Ellie's had to pick it up. He's been getting there a little bit. I don't know. It's still a frustrating thing for me is that I can't believe that this rotation has happened, and yet the lineup has been missing. So they're very much in that range. They're around 500. I've given up on the Reds until they've proven me otherwise because basically they had one hot streak 2 years ago. I can't hang my hat on that. Otherwise, you haven't really been relevant. Speaking of the Pittsburgh Pirates, hey, you just swept the Phillies. I'm proud of you. I'm not really. The whole thing ends up making me sad again. Hey, they're facing Miami. Maybe they'll get hot. The starting pitching's been great. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? The starting pitching has been great. Skeens has been the best pitcher in baseball. Heaney's going to be a great deadline ad for a team. Hey, they got Nick Gonzalez was out for a while. Spencer Horwitz. So maybe we're going to see a nice month. Oh, Henry Davis won 1 pick. He's had like 2 good weeks, which Henry Davis hasn't had 2 good weeks. So maybe there can be something there. Their bullpen has a big 3 in Bednar, Santana, and Ferguson.
Okay.
Hard pass.
The IKF trade's gonna feed families.
He's gonna be on the left side for some teams' infield. Go West, young man. And still atop the West for how long? The Los Angeles Dodgers are 1 game up on the Padres, who they are going to San Diego for 3. They've got San Diego, San Francisco, and San Diego. Bit of a tester week for your Dodgers, week and a half. They do have the best offense in baseball in runs, batting average, 2nd in OBP, OPS, and homers. Their pitching really hasn't been too flashy, although they did just get Kirby Yates and Michael Kopech back. Those are 2 pretty giant adds to your bullpen. That can change a game. Their rotation right now is listed as Yamamoto, Kershaw, May, and Robleski. So, again, maybe not what you pictured as the Dodgers rotation coming into the season. They have been crushed by injury. There's a lot of talk about, they pitch well. They were one of the original we can tap into pitchers. Are they hurting their pitchers too much? I don't know. Mookie Betts has just started to play well. The offense and this whole team is going to be in a lot of games. It's going to be an interesting week. The NL West has heard a lot about the Dodgers, and the Padres and Giants are going to get a good look at them the next 10 days. Speaking of the Padres, yeah, I mean they're the team the Dodgers are playing twice. I just referenced that. Padres are in a weird spell. We have a couple Padres fans in the office now. It's not just Ryan Cohen. That they're like, yeah, it's weird. We're still winning games, but the product hasn't been fantastic. Fernando's been in a little bit of a funk. Manny Machado is putting together a great year. I forgot Luis Ariz is a free agent after the year. That's more so just for me. I was looking at how good Pete Alonso's playing, and I was like, wait, who else is a free agent? I was like, oh, yeah, Luis Ariz is going to be a fun free agency. They don't want to hear that now, though, because maybe we need to think of San Diego as another pitching team, because they got starts this weekend from Randy Vasquez, Steven Kolek, and Ryan Berger. Right? Took 2 out of 3 from the Brewers, and that one game they lost was a walk-off from Mighty Mouse, former Yankees starting third baseman Caleb Durbin. Parts of that are true. Their bullpen is still really good. Suarez, Adams been getting hit recently. Estrada, Morejon, Sean Reynolds. Padres are good. If they give the Dodgers a little bit of smoke the next 10 days, NL West can get really fun really fast. And the other side of that is your San Francisco Giants, who have essentially the same record of the Padres. They're 1 game back of the Dodgers. They're playing Colorado. That's good. And then they're facing the Dodgers. The offense hasn't gone. Ramos, Lee, Chapman have contributed. Outside of that, Wilmer Flores, we've talked about him a little bit. Willie Adames has been in the bad place for a while. A few guys in their line. 25th in batting average, 24th in on-base percentage, 26th in OPS. That's no good, but holy smokes, they're throwing the ball. Best bullpen in baseball. First in ERA, first in WHIP. That is a very sneaky part of the San Francisco Giants one outlier year where they won 107 or whatever it was. They had the best bullpen in baseball. They have that again. The rotation has been great too. Logan Webb is doing Logan Webb things, and Robbie Ray is back. Did you know? Putting a very nice year together. That's gonna be a funky trade to look back on, getting him from Seattle during the injured times, kind of banking on what Robbie Ray is doing right now. Doval, Randy Rodriguez, and Taylor Rogers. Yep, you bet. Ryan Rucco, like him. And we go to Arizona, where, as I told you, there was one National League team. I told you the 2 AL teams were the Tigers and Houston. The one National League team at this point last year who was not in the playoff picture, the New York Mets, who were 28-36. We're not out of the woods yet. If you're one of these teams that's having a bad time, we're not out of the woods yet. And that's what Arizona's looking for. And the offense has been a Diamondbacks offense. Plus, we've talked about how good Perdomo is. 6th in runs scored, 4th in OPS, 4th in home runs. They're getting it there. They just got the awful Corbin Burns news that he will be out. They still have a rotation. It's Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, Brandon Pfaadt, E-Rod, and Ryan Nelson. Now, it's not what we thought it was going to be coming into the season, per se. Zach Gallen's been getting hit a lot. They got Justin Martinez back. Hopefully he can do something in their bullpen, because it's all pitching. If their pitching ever finds the hot streak and turns it around, they will win games. 31-34. They just got swept by the Cincinnati Reds. Their GM has a long-term contract. Push comes to shove, they have to really show something if they're not going to be sellers at the deadline. And Colorado Rockies, the worst team ever. Hunter Goodman hitting. Jordan Beck hitting and watching balls fly over his head. I'll stop. That's kind of rude. Trade Jake Bird is where I'll end it. So, that was 30 teams in 30 minutes. That was a lot.
I had a blast.
Whew. That was intense. If I do it again, I think I'm going to need more predetermined thing. There's a lot from the hip, but you guys know that's kind of how I live. I don't know. Did we miss anything? That's a weird thing for me to ask because I was just kind of barking for a while.
Big picture, no.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Camilo Duvall was like back to really doing it, and that was nice to see.
Yeah. It's crazy that him and Ryan Walker took the gig, and now Duvall's back. It was. I had another one of the thoughts that partially inspired this was when I looked at the National League today, and if you look at the National League playoff standings, it's kind of like if this was it, like this would be it. Like right now, the Padres, Giants, and Phillies are the three wild card teams. The teams out are St. Louis, Milwaukee, Cincinnati, Arizona, Nats, and then you're at the Braves, who are 2 games up on the Pirates. So it's just a reminder that baseball doesn't work this way. The Phillies just lost 5. The Giants just won 5. But yeah, the AL is still wide open. Like right now, the Royals, Mariners, Guardians, the Rays, Jays, Twins, Guardians, Mariners, Royals are all separated by a game and a half. There's 6 teams for 3 spots that can all flip-flop each other. And the scariest part is, if I'm being honest, the 2 teams that come after them, I like their rosters a lot more. The Boston Red Sox and the Texas Rangers are lurking. That they're still... The AL is still, if you have a hot week, like if the Red Sox, if they wake up and they are 38 and 36, so that would be 6-1. I don't want that right now because they're playing the Yankees this weekend. What the hell?
Philly,
Miss Aggie, references for me. I don't know. It's. We're in, do you call teams dead? What do you want to do? We're not there yet, especially in the American League. And even in that National League, what the Mets did last year, I know we kind of forgot. They went to the NLCS. So that was 30 and 30. If you liked it, let me know. If you hated it, let me know. We will be back Wednesday. Maybe foolish. Maybe I got to come up with a plan. We'll see. But we love you guys either way.